everyone, I am Mecha 42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and we are talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 2, Episode 9, Project Daedalus. It has nothing to do with the Daedalus or Stargate or anything. If you're telling me it's Daedalus or something, I want to see the ship Daedalus. I want to see something that relates to the title. That's one of the problems with Star Trek Discovery, is that they always have these titles that don't seem to make a whole lot of sense. And if there was like the name of something in there, I missed it. To full disclosure, you guys watched me watch it. I'll link my live stream reaction to this in the comment section below. I kind of watched this out of loyalty to the brand at this point, and I kind of watch this just for the channel. I'm not really getting an enjoyment out of it. I'm not really getting anything other than, you know, something to throw into my memory when I need to kind of point out to somebody who might not have seen it, or who might say, oh, you suck because you're a hater. It's like, actually, no, here is what's wrong with this episode. So that's kind of the only reason I'm still watching Discovery. And that being said, I do take into account everything with this series. I take into account how good the other Star Trek series were. I take into account the level of writing and acting from those series. And I take into account the entire first and second season now of Discovery. And in my brain, I can't disassociate the Alex Kurtzman bad robot people and secret hideout people. I can't I can't separate them from the JJ movies, because they're still bringing the same level of work and writing. They're still, it's like they brought all the formula, they brought all the recipes over with them from Bad Robot. So in my head, I'm watching a Bad Robot sort of thing, and that's not Star Trek to me. That's Star Wars, and there's nothing wrong with Star Wars. It's just not Star Trek. They're they're two different things, right? So like I feel kind of I feel like I kind of have to warn people who are getting into Star Trek through Discovery that you might not like Star Trek, because this is so completely different than actual Star Trek, right? It's so different. And that's kind of one of the things that I do when I watch Discovery, is that I'm kind of comparing, because this whole season is like one long episode, right? I do have to weigh in every other episode, and every other, you know, even last season I have to weigh in. And that's in my mind of, okay, well, yes, but Michael Burnham did this last season, so she hasn't redeemed herself now. Why are they acting like this? You know, why are they completely forgetting that, right? So for people who comment and stuff, I really have to address that you're looking for somebody who's impartial, who's never seen Star Trek, and this might not be the channel for you, because I can't just forget that I saw Star Trek. I can't forget that, you know, I remember things of Star Trek. I can't remember that, you know, this happened at this point in time. So that being said, I can't really go in completely unbiased. I have to kind of go in and remember all of the other things that happened in the series before, and all of the behind the scenes drama that still, as much as I try and tune that out, you really can't. That being said, now into the spoiler-free section of the review, if you guys made it in this far in the video. This isn't as bad as a lot of the Discovery episodes. We get really, really bad ones. We get less bad ones, right? That's kind of how Discovery has been. And I really wouldn't be watching this if it weren't for the fact that I do like to kind of know what I'm talking about. If I say something is bad, I like to know why it's bad. And yes, it's just an opinion, and you're here for my opinion. So why do I think it's bad? Well, this episode revolved around the death of a crew member that we've really only ever seen in passing, with maybe one line of dialogue, and I'll get into the spoiler section about who this crew member is. So basically we have the death of this crew member who we don't care about. You know, you're basically trying to get me to care about somebody that in my head, I'm looking at like a background extra, you know, like a set piece, like a prop. It's like telling me, you know, oh, that console's dead. That console's gone. We're never going to see that console again. And that console was there blinking and beeping in the background. And we're going to miss it. You know, no, you don't get my sympathy when you're basically killing off characters that might as well be consoles. They might as well be that captain's chair. The captain's chair in Enterprise was more of a character than this character that got killed off, because after they replaced it, it squeaked. It never felt right. It was never the right height. It never felt right for Archer. The captain's chair was more of a character than this character. That is one of the things that's wrong with this show, you know? I will give him props to this. I was actually impressed by, like, the opening shot. We actually saw a shuttle fly slowly to Discovery. I think it was a shuttle. We saw, like, ship shots for more than 2 seconds. The camera was level a lot of the time. I give props to Jonathan Frakes, who actually kept the camera still for the most part. There was one upside down shot, but I'm sure he was probably told, kind of keep it looking like the rest of the show. You can't just make a Next Generation episode, probably. But he did include a lot of still camera shots, and he did what the best he could, I think, with a really bad script. And this was written by the new showrunner, what's her name, Michelle Paradise or something. This does not give me a lot of hope for Star Trek, you know? And I can give this episode, probably, without really getting into spoilers, there were some funny moments. I'm actually really liking Anson Mount as Pike. He's better than pretty much anything else on the show. I'm liking Ethan Peck as Spock. I'm liking him tell off Michael Burnham every once in a while. It's like, oh my god, you're pissing her off. Good, I hate this character. Anytime Spock is on screen, like, just nattering with Michael Burnham, they argue like a married couple. They really, really do. They don't act like siblings. They act like they argue like they were doing it, right? So in my head canon, I think I have to kind of come from that, because the actual excuse of why they didn't speak, why they don't get along is so 12-year-old. It's ridiculous. It's so watered down and dumbed down. And like, Star Trek Discovery really feels like I'm watching Star Trek for people who would rather be watching house flipping shows. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as I am insulted that they're presenting this normie drama stuff as Star Trek to me. And it's fine if you like it. I like Chopped. I like the house flippy shows too. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch them if I'm at my mom's or something, and she's addicted to them. So I get it. I get it. Different shows for different people, right? Here's the thing, though. It's just not Star Trek. I mean, they do a lot of stuff that, like, this was probably one of the most Star Trek episodes, and that's giving it some high praise. I think I might give it maybe, now that I've thought about it, now that I've thought about what I enjoyed out of it, I might give it a solid 4, just because Ethan Peck did a good job, Anson Mount did a good job. Mary Wiseman did a really, really good job in this as well. She's weird, but I think that's the point. I do have problems with her being a bridge officer. I really, really do, because she's not somebody who would be a bridge officer. She's not calm enough. She's not. You know, she's very flaky. She's very, she has a lot of anxiety. She's uncomfortable to watch on screen sometimes because she's so nervous and stuttery. And I know, because I'm kind of like that sometimes. She should not be a bridge officer. She should be really, really doing what she can elsewhere on the ship. Other problems on this. Well, we'll get into that when we get into spoilers. Maybe now that I think about it, now I think about the plot, though, I might have to go down to a 3.5, because the plot really, it's between a 3.5 and a 4 on this one. It's better, but it still has bad plot elements, and it still has dumb characters that do dumb things for dumb reasons. Oh, Lord, yeah. So maybe about a 3.5 out of 4. Now, full spoiler section here. Full spoilers, you've been warned. Oh, so this episode revolves around basically the computer, the robot chick. She's, I guess, a cyborg. She was a human. Now we're finally finding backstory about this robot chick. But they've been kind of setting her up for a couple of episodes where, oh, she's going to have something go wrong with her because her eyes looked funny. They're not subtle in this show at all. Just super heavy-handed. Not subtle at all with any of their little clues. We knew something was up with her. So she basically downloads everything from this probe that they came across a few episodes ago that held, like, all of the knowledge of everything, and they never need to actually go out there and explore anything. And they probably didn't back it up. They probably didn't save it. She basically downloads it through the palm of her hand via old dial-up sort of sound effects with everything except, like, the high-pitched screeching from an old modem. I'm not joking. Go watch the episode. It really, really sounded like that. So she downloads it through her hand. And we also see that she has to, like, save and delete her memories. because I guess her brain is a computer or something. Wouldn't that make you not even human anymore if your brain was a computer and you had to save your memories like that? Oh, it's weird. It's weird. So they don't like give us any backstory on how she was created or how she has all these cybernetics or what the laws are on cybernetics in the Federation. Is she a human anymore? Is she a robot? Is she? Yeah. So yes, we have we have all of this. I have all these questions about this character that none of them get answered. But no, we see in her memories that she was married and she was walking on a beach somewhere. Okay, so we have an instant compassion for this character that we've basically only ever seen in the background. And you probably are wondering, who's the robot chick? She's the one that kind of looks like Nebula. She's blue, right? It's... Oh god, it's not a good way to set up a character, but so basically she has to download all this information, and then the Admiral Cornwall, the really bitchy, skinny admiral who was like all giggly and wet for Lorca in season 1, and he's completely incompetent, ordered the genocide of the Klingon homeworld. By the way, this admiral, this is why I don't like this character. See, I can't just judge the episodes on their own because they're all interconnected, right? What somebody did in one episode is going to affect them now. She basically decided to bring in Mirror Hitler, or Mirror Universe Space Hitler, Captain Giorgio, to go and kill the Klingon homeworld in the last season. So this season, she's basically telling Pike, oh yeah, so you guys have fugitives with Spock, you know what, so we're gonna go over to the Section 31 headquarters that everybody knows about. It's an abandoned prison colony that's actually the Section 31 headquarters. She's like, turn your shields off because we have all these mines, even though they're illegal in the Federation. So what happens, the mine comes to the ship, then they have to turn on the shields because she said to turn them off because the shields will actually attract the mines, which is bullshit. Why don't they reverse the polarity to why don't they reverse the magnetism? Do science! Reverse your magnetism! I said reverse the polarity as a joke, but I'm like, no, wait. If the shields are magnetically drawing the mines in space to the ship, why didn't they just create some sort of anti-magnetic burst to get rid of... Oh, Lord. Why didn't they do something like that? Data would have done that. Star Trek would have done that. Anyway. I didn't even think of that when I was watching it last night. Just in the description of what happened. So anyway, that happens. And then they end up in this sort of Section 31 place. And I guess her and the robot chick, Michael Burnham, and the new security chick that came over from the Enterprise, who has like little breathing tubes on the side of her face, I guess probably for atmosphere or something. They all actually go and beam over to the Section 31 ship, and it's there's no gravity, or it's not the ship, it's a space station. There's no gravity there. So basically this is kind of funny. This is one of the things that made me laugh out loud in this episode. When they beam over, they're in like their little space suits and they have their magnetic little booties on or something. So I guess, or do they have the magnetic booties? Whatever. I guess they turn on the gravity or something, like pretty quick, close to them getting there, and then they all just kind of sucked to the floor, or like magnetically adhere to the floor in their little space booties. But the other funny thing is that there's all these frozen corpsicles all over the thing. And yes, because Star Trek, we have frozen corpsicles now. They kind of all fall, and they end up shattering, just like the liquid nitrogen death in Jason X, where Jason's on a space station and he dips the girl's head in liquid nitrogen and then he just kind of shatters her. That's literally what happens here, is that all these corpsicles fall and then they just, like, some of them shatter. It's kind of hilarious in a non-intentional way. That is my enjoyment of Discovery. It is unintentionally funny in so many ways. So that's one of the fun things that happened in this series. The other kind of B-plot is basically Michael Burnham and Spock arguing like they're a married couple. Spock gets a few really good insults. Anytime he gets some good insults in, that is enjoyable, because Michael Burnham is such a detestable character to me. She has been written as the best, most brightest, brilliant person ever, but she screws up so majorly. But then she has no consequences for it, because she's a typical SJW Mary Sue character, where, they can't actually have any flaws. They're just like, oh, oopsie, I did something. Oh, that's okay. You're the bestest ever because you're a woman and you're this and that and da da da. please. Just she's a bad character. So I am enjoying her and Spock arguing. There's even a time when they're playing like 3D chess, but the prop looks so bad. Like, I had the Franklin Mint 3D chess thing for a while. This one looks like a 3D printed 3D chess set, right? If you guys are ever familiar with Star Trek, of course you are. This is why you're watching this video. It looked so bad, this 3D chess set that they were playing. So, of course, they're arguing back and forth, and she's trying to, like, play logic games with him, and he's like, no, I'm gonna choose this move because it's illogical. And, of course, they're fighting, and he's like, no, I want to experience emotions, blah, blah, blah. There's even a great funny scene where they actually show the flashback of Spock in the hospital, and it basically is like Smash Brothers Melee, or Smash Brothers on Switch, when you, like, smash a character and they hit the front screen, like they hit the camera. That is the shot that they actually used in this episode. It's so hilarious. I'm gonna have to clip that. I'm gonna start using that, I think, as like a joke, because it's so ridiculous. It's funny. You know, it's welcome to Super Spock Brothers, Spock Melee or something. Smash Brothers. I don't know. I have to think of a good name for it. What's a good name for that scene where Spock just flings the guy at the camera? It's kind of hilarious. Anyway, moving back to the plot. So they're in this like space station, and Michael Burnham, of course, has to save the day because she figures out, oh no, the computer's going nuts. The robot chick's going nuts. The robot chick goes nuts, rips out the breather of the security chick. You think she's dead because, you know, she can't breathe, because that breather thing, like, she is something that kind of, I guess, gives whatever gas that she actually does need to breathe. It kind of probably supplies it. Probably like, what's his name? Menden, I think, on Next Generation. He was like a blue guy, but she's not part of that species. She's part of like another species that's kind of similar. Like I said, we don't get any character development. We don't know who this chick is. She's just a random security officer that they brought over from the Enterprise. Like, oh, okay. That's not even a character. This episode's also really weird because they also are saying, oh no, what's his name is not here. Ash Tyler's not here. We'll just put him in the brig. Okay, so I don't know if this was like one of the reshoot episodes or like a filler episode or what. But Ash Tyler is just conveniently shooed away. Also, Dr. Culber is not there. He is also not in this episode. Neither is Jet Reno. Yeah, neither is Rebecca Romijn. Neither is a lot of these characters that they were like making such a big deal out of. No, they're nowhere near. They just don't exist in this episode. So yeah, Michael Burnham on the space station. We're back with Michael Burnham on the space station with the robot chick and the security chick. I don't know what the hell they're doing there. I wasn't paying attention. I was having fun with you guys in chat. So she's there fighting. There's a big fight scene, and that girl's like basically gasping for breath like a fish flopping around out of water. It's kind of hilarious, and then she finally dies, or at least you think she dies, because nobody actually is dying in this. I'm like, well, she was dead. Who cares about her? Great job of them giving her a name. Oh no, her name is Non, like non-bread. I remember her name because it's like non-bread. Her name is Non or something. The security chick. It's so dumb. They give no character development. We don't know who these people are. Right, so we're supposed to care about this robot chick who has to, like, do something. I don't know. She's like downloading all this information to send off to something, and she can't control what she's doing, which is why we don't let robot chicks in Starfleet, because they could be compromised, right? It's so stupid. So of course she can't fix what she's doing. Michael Burnham has to like space the girl. She sends her out into the airlock. We have good reason to think that this might be a setup for the Borg, because one of the things that happens when they're like going in trying to land in this space station, right? They have to basically the whole game of chess comes into play that Michael Burnham and Spock were playing. She's like, "Oh, we have, you know, they're anticipating our moves. They're anticipating what we're doing, so we have to, like, modulate our shield frequencies so they can't anticipate it. Kind of like the Borg, you know, kind of exactly like how we deal with the Borg, where we have to have modulating frequencies and you know, randomize the frequency so they can't expect it. That's exactly what they'd have to do here. There's also a lot of speculation that this chick might be the Borg queen because she has all this information in her head now, and she's a fucking robot. She's a cybernetic thing. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. We don't get any sense of distance, how long it takes to travel from one place to another. None of that. So basically, Michael Burnham has to space the robot chick with all this information and all this stuff, and that's the end of the episode. We see her freezing in space, and we see her little memories fizzle out. And this reminds me so much of the short trek that we, with all these characters we don't care about, or know, or will ever see again. So now that I think about the plot, about 3.5 out of 10. I was enjoying little bits of it because of how ridiculous they were, but no. That is pretty much everything that happens in that episode. If you want a more in-depth, if you want my live reactions, I will link the live stream in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Wow, this was a better episode even, and the best they can do is like maybe a 3.5 or a 4, and that is a good episode for Discovery. So just keep that in mind when everybody's like, oh yeah, but this is a good one. 4 is about as good as they can get on Discovery from what I've seen so far. No, I think I had one episode that I might have scored a 6. Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I am Mecha42, and I will see you on the next live stream or video. Bye! Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!